I check. Okay, seems like that's working. Alright, we are back with Final Fantasy XIV. It's been a couple of days since I last streamed, but when I did, it was when I finished the role quests for Endwalker, at least for the individual role quests. What's left now is the Master role quests, which is what the wiki calls it. And that is a series of quests that you do after you finish all the individual roles. Fun stuff. Well, between last time I streamed and now, I have been unfortunately grinding adventurer squadrons for the Grand Company feature. And despite it being such a pain, yes, I have finally reached a rank of cat. So that's neat. Does that immediately or directly affect gameplay? No, it does not. It's not to my knowledge. But it's only a game, so hardly matters, right? Well, it's nearly 6 a.m. I have not slept at all because I cannot sleep for some reason. So I might as well be playing Final Fantasy XIV instead. Right, well that's enough rambling. Let's just do the quests, you know? So I just need to talk to Sherbot over here. Bear Snow. Oh, wow, that quest thumbnail looks like a family photo. The glint in Sherbot's eyes suggests she was hoping you might pass through. Well, if it is, it's Sylvain. All-around good egg and champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Word travels fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits defeating the blasphemies that plague the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Sadly, there are other fell beasts, yet one for slaying. But fear not, our efforts to bring them low proceeds apace, and we've had naught but glad tidings from our allies. Last most surprising report came from Werlit, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Alamegan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Reports from Garlemald, however, suggests another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, and we received a petition for assistance. Oh, that is a surprise instead of the usual cold shoulder that they like to give us. Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final days began to spread in earnest, we encountered many great monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. And to make matters worse, they say the Guardians who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. For what I understand, it was you and your comrades who fought and brought an end to the source of the final days. Is that right? Even so, it will appear its effects will linger a while longer. Until this malevolent influence on Aksha subsides, I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such sightings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we faced thus far. Your strength and experience would prove quite valuable, if you're willing to help, of course. Honestly, probably not, considering much of a how much of pricks that the Garlemald were when we encountered them. Sure, they are experiencing basically the end of their civilization and apocalyptic catastrophe, but still, we offer our help in earnest and they spurn us. Well, of course I help. I can only imagine that I'm saying this in the most deadpan, sarcastic tone. Let's see. Is the Ilsapar contingent not equipped to handle this threat? I should certainly think so. No sooner did we receive the request from Charlian that they began making preparations to dispatch the forces. That said, it was clear from the first they were hoping you might also take up the hunt. Though, if I may be frank, I was not expecting Charlian of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald. What with their strict policies of non-intervention? Perhaps we'll find out the reason before this is all over. But that's an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. Speak with intelligence officer Camp Broken Glass. See, though the efforts to thwart blasphemies born of the final days proceed apace, trouble yet lurks in the snows of Garlemald. Much to Shurbat's surprise, Charlian has requested aid for the Guardians, and though the Ilsapar contingent has already deployed forces to aid them, Shurbat asks if you might also lend a hand. No sooner do you nod your head in consent than she bids you make for Camp Broken Glass to speak with the intelligence officer. I am infinitely glad that I have done the Ethercurrent quests beforehand, because I am not traveling by land. Alright, we are back. Continue then. Hmm. Actually, let me take a look and see what the NPCs around that I can talk to. Nope, nothing here, and I'm already at my cap for bicolor gemstones. Yep, no main characters here. Alright. Sylvain. Sylvain? It's an honor to have you with us, sir. I presume you're come to assist in our hunt for blossoming. That is correct. Maxima and Lucia will be pleased to hear it, if you would come this way. It's good to see you, Sylvain, but I wish it were under more fortuitous circumstances. We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad for your aid. Now then, I believe it best if the man who first discovered this blossoming explained the situation. It's fortunate. Though I'm surprised by is how my character is surprised by fortunate walking the frame, considering that he came from behind. Like, he just walked up from behind and... Huh. Ah, Sylvain. Good. May I forego introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. As for the situation at hand, it concerns joint effort between Forum and the Loporits to find new purpose for the moon. While there is no longer a need for a vessel to evacuate the star, we believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Ferris. Speaking of the moon, I have yet to unlock that dungeon on the moon. A mountain, I think. I really should take a look at the stuff, content that I missed and unlock those. Eventually, maybe on my off time. Oh, off stream, rather. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward. To transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Chardin has long had the honor of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but it is far from perfect. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long labored to preserve would be lost. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What's more, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. Thus did we consult the allied 8 nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Razahan. They agreed to assembling a survey team to take measure of the moon and its potential as a repository. Our plans for assessment were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blossoming in the Tower of Babel. Claims of Garlemald citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial supposition. But we've not only ill tidings to share. Reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat. Laura Torrell and a member of Gridana's Keepers of the Entwined Serpents have already begun an investigation into the catalyst for these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn, and the spread of this affliction is much curtailed, we must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alphino and Alizé have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium while we attend to the people here. But the matter of the blasphemy is not easily resolved, I'm afraid. We've recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Yugiri and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them. I should like to join you, if I may. As this endeavor was originally undertaken on Charlion's behalf, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion. Many side quests to do. So I should have known you would turn up eventually. I did not expect to see you here of all places. I am no less glad for your presence. I presume word of the blasphemy is what brought you here. In which case, I believe it may be best if a member of our reconnaissance team's guard explained the situation. You again. An acquaintance of yours? Long time no see, Lawrence. I heard tell you will I heard tell you were the worldly sort, but bugger me if I know where you heard my name from. My name before. I'm just a lowly sword for hire, hoping to fan my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Linsa. The job sounded simple enough, but, well, I'm sure you wouldn't be here if it were, eh? But you didn't come off this way to hear about me, did you? The blasphemy we're after is making its nest in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel. The auxiliary sector, I believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sizable horde of beasts were circling about like knights protecting the queen. Naturally, we thought to strike from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reached its mark. They were protected by some manner of mystical shroud, as far as I could figure. Without a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. By the time we understood the futility by the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute forcing our way through this one. My understanding was that once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could it create such a barrier? That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely why I plan to speak with the Elder Seedseer when she arrives. If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the Blasphemy's protection, it's her. In the meantime, could we trouble you to help with the not-so-small matter of people changing into beasts? The Blasphemy's horde was large enough when we first found it. We can afford for more to join its ranks. Very well. We shall reconvene with Laura Torrell and discuss the strategy. But before you go, there's something else you should know about the tower. From the moment we set foot inside, I could swear there was someone or something watching us. I shrugged it off, thinking it a figment of my imagination, but in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower. Aaronval sends his regards, by the way. He asked me to tell you not to push yourself, but we all know what a waste of breath that'll prove to be. Lord Hien will be arriving ere long, aptly dressed for the cold, I should hope. Gosetsu will no doubt count himself fortunate to be absent if he knew we were here. Gods, what I wouldn't give for a nice hot bowl of soup. Well, you're in luck. I just happen to have, well, not soup, but plenty of food, at least. Defanti, I suppose. Sad to say I can't offer you any, considering that you are only an NPC. Who knows, maybe one day in the far future, or the near future, we'll have AI capable of interacting with us in a meaningful level, as we would interacting with each other. What a day that would be. Hey, Tim. Under normal circumstances, I would never dream of leaving the Elder Seedseer's side. But considering the nature of these blasphemies and the calamity they bring, she insisted a representative for Gridania precede her arrival. It would appear their investigation into the recent reports of refugees transforming is well underway. Ah, Sylvain. It is good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed, the road before us is not an easy one, and a man of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, wherein we made a few rather surprising discoveries. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within Camp Broken Glass or Tertium have turned, no doubt thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Alphino, and Alize. However, we have reason to believe those who did turn all hail from Locus and Monus. I mean Corvos, Garlemald's ancestral home. The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, a number of Garlean refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald. But the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We are in mind to go and speak with them directly if you would care to join us. Perhaps together we can learn perhaps together we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such terrible change among their people. Just call it roll quests, Endwalker. I am not Garlean by blood. Having been raised in the Imperial provinces, I would be lying if I said I'm not moved by their plight. Locals and owners suffered greatly in the wake of final days. 'Tis only natural they would have sought shelter at the capital. I can't but imagine their horror upon arrival. Frozen hope. Oh wow, look at that. I'll just choose one apiece. Let's go. Breakfast. There's always vitality, but considering how invulnerable I can be if I tank buses, shouldn't worry too much about that. Time being of the essence, I believe it prudent we split into two groups and cover as much ground as we may, as quickly as possible. If you and Master Fortunald will inquire after the people at Victor's spoils, the two of us shall see what we may learn at Liminal Station 4. When you have finished, pray meet us there. Victor's spoils to the east of here, yes. Victor's spoils is to the east of here, yes. Let us be off. Okay, to the east. Speaking of mounts, I really hope that there is another Final Fantasy 15 collab again soon. I really wish to purchase the Regalia mount. It'd be real fun to drive around in a flying car, I think. Also helps as a really nice design. That they should choose to reside here in the cold, I can but presume they will not be amenable to conversation. Even so, we must not be deterred. Come. Yeah, I really do not like talking to the citizens of Garlemald. A bunch of pricks. Before I continue, I got a little bit of candy. Speak with refugees. Ah, sullen refugee. Oh, man, this dude's old. Come to hear our grievances, have you? With more than you have time to hear them, I'm sure. We've lost not one, but 2 homes. Our loved ones, our livelihood. There's nothing left. I served my time with the military, What? To lose all my friends, my son. And I was not to show for it but our claim to Locus Amonis. Or so we thought. Calamity was visited upon us, for reasons we know not. And when we thought to flee, it followed us on our heels to Garlemald, ruin and ash at every turn. What are we to do with nothing left to live for? A weary refugee. Talk? What is there to talk about? No home, no future, nothing. This doom spells the end for us all. Shall we meet back here when we are finished? Despondent refugee. Can't imagine why you or anyone else would feign interest in our troubles. But if you insist, I find a great many of the people here were in the military at one time or another. Some were retiring with honors, others without. Sadly, I'm one of the latter. Or one too many scars in battle. Even so, my contributions were enough to warrant leave to move to Locus Amonis. It was a land of warmth and bounty. Corvosi? I think Corvosi sounds a little bit better. Actually, no, considering that they are very Latin-based in language, it's probably Corvosi. Corvosi rebellion, admittedly, proved troublesome for a time, but it didn't take long for the Second Legion to quell the uprising. You could practically drown in the calm and quiet. Then one day, the skies came alive with flame. We were overrun by all manner of wild beasts born of our brothers and sisters. The Second Legion barely had time to assemble their forces before they were overrun and snuffed out. We barely escaped with our lives. But we were greeted only with more wreck and ruin on our arrival here, and we've not the strength to take our home back from the Corvosi a second time. There's nothing left for us anywhere. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to be alone right now. Did you learn aught of how they came to be in such dire straits? I see. I heard much of the same. The military forces of Locus and Monas were defeated in the wake of the final days. Desperate to survive, they naturally fled to Garlemald seeking sanctuary. It was their hope the might of the Empire would allow them to reclaim the home they were forced to abandon. Their capital was already in ruins when they arrived. Needless to say, the lands they have long believed to be the ancestral home of the Garland people may remain forever lost to them. Those unfamiliar with history would believe that they have always resided in the bitter cold climes of Ilsvard, but that was only after Carvosa invaded 800 years prior. With the advent of Magitech, I imagine it was all too easy for Emperor Solus to rally his people and take back what they believed to be rightfully theirs. Yet, history would tell us true, that the land they call Locus Amonas had been known by other names, and served as a home to myriad peoples. Indeed, one need only look back to the Algon's reign in the third astral era to give the lie to Guardian claims of sovereignty. Yet, even had they such ancestral ties to Locus Amonas, antecedents cannot justify their animosity to foreign peoples. Animosity poorly veiled by delusions of justice, as has been the case for so many nations throughout history. Would that man had the sense and strength of will to break free from such chains of hatred. Shilbra, help! Someone help! They've turned! Another monster. Quickly, Sylvain. We haven't a moment to lose. What happened? One of my mates seemed unwell, so I thought to come over and look in on him. Next thing I knew, he... No one appears to be injured. Did he not attack? He just walked off in the direction of the tower, in a daze as if it was calling to him. He could not have gone far. If you will go after him, I will remain here and see that all are accounted for. Have we not suffered enough? Oh. Huh. Didn't want to do one of these. The beast is slain, but thank the heavens. For a blessing, no others have turned, and a measure of calm has been restored, if only for a moment. Witnesses were able to offer clues as to the source of the transformation, but claimed the afflicted was listening to this radio. Even now, it continues to play the same cryptic message. Oh, don't like that. Empire. No more. Never again. Rise. Ashes. Though distorted by radio static, you can hear a voice saying, "The Empire is no more. Never again shall it rise from the ashes." But how is this possible? There are no facilities left standing that could possibly deliver a broadcast. Anima was capable of sending such a message. The last time this happened, the signal came from the Tower of Babel. Be that as it may, Anima is no more, and the Tower of Babel has fallen into disrepair, by your hand, no less. Which begs the question, who, or perhaps what, could be behind this? Sylvain, Master Fortunald, a moment if you would. Shortly after we finished our inquiry at Liminal Station 4, Lord Emmerich and Admiral Rowip arrived and requested an audience. Apologies for our late arrival, knowing firsthand the devastation of which blasphemies are capable. I discussed the matter with the Admiral, and we were of one mind that the situation warranted our immediate presence. Is it safe to presume a representative of the survey team has already arrived? Indeed I have. Thank you for coming all this way on such short notice. Recent events here at the camp have proved most enlightening. And this is the aforementioned radio. No more. Never again. Rise from the ashes. A harsh reminder of their misfortune. Sufficient to push some wayward few over the edge, it would seem. Yet there still remains the question of who is sending this message, and from where. Glory everlasting. Garlemald. For glory everlasting. Garlemald. No, it couldn't be. You recognize this message? A mantra often spoken by Lord Nerva. Anyone who lived in the provinces under his authority could scarcely forget those words. He sought to claim the throne after the assassination of Emperor Varus, did he not? After civil war broke out, he all but disappeared according to the intelligence we managed to gather. How could he have managed to breach the tower undetected? To have done so and remain unnoticed by the creatures infesting the tower seems a nigh impossible task, unless... Do you think the voice on the radio is Nerva? In a manner of speaking, yes. Not as the man he once was, but as a blasphemy. Robbed of the throne, and forced to watch the empire he longed to command crumble before his very eyes. If such loss did not drive him to the same fate as Quintus, the despair he felt no doubt overcame and turned him. Nervous delusions of grandeur aside, the Garlean's plight sounds not unlike Sahagan, desperate to preserve their spawning grounds. Indeed, though unscrupulous by any measure, the Garleans found solidarity in the ideology, as did the people of Ishgard in the church. Adrift without a home or purpose, it is all too easy for despair to take hold. Would that remedy were as simple as offering them land as we did with Sahagan. In all likelihood, the Guardians would refuse to settle for aught less than what they believed to be their ancestral homeland of Locus Monus, a claim the Colossi would readily take arms to denounce. We would do well not to further words. We would do well not to further fan the flames of animosity twixt them. Then perhaps, at the very least, we can offer them peace of mind, and a means to regain some semblance of stability in their lives. To offer them true comfort and stability, Garlemald must be rebuilt. By no means an easy solution, but perhaps the only one worthy of pursuit. Of course, this new Garlemald must remain a sovereign nation, free from the oversight of others. Aye, they will see no meaning in it otherwise. If I'm not mistaken, Alphino and Alizé have already made strides in helping the people here regain some normalcy in their day-to-day living. A most important first step, but it will mean little without proper leadership. Rather than a single individual, perhaps a governing body of sorts would prove more effective. There are a number of former Senate members among the refugees at Camp Broken Glass, as I recall. With their help, creating the framework for new governance is not an impossibility. But let us call the people together and see what they make of our proposal. Final days has taken much from you all. I can but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. And though the final days have been averted, its effects yet linger, and a blasphemy has been born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before harm is brought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person, but as a people united, there may be hope for the tomorrow. While it's not our place to decide how you will move forward, we would offer a small measure of guidance. We were told a number of former members of your Senate yet remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals until such time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuild Garlemald. Is such a thing truly possible? Even if we do cobble together some governing council, we won't be making anything of that trash and that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Locus Monus either. Rack and ruin. Those are our only options. I realize to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but you needn't undertake it alone. My children are working with members of the 1st Legion as we speak to begin an organized relief effort. And there are others from the other provinces no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of the star, and others will heed your call. If you should still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you residency in Sharlayan. I promise you will be welcomed with open arms. Sharlayan. So now you expect us to go and lick boots in some country we've never heard of. My apologies if I appeared overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies on non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you are unfamiliar with my homeland. It is an island nation to the north, home to a myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Sharlayan to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you would be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why, exactly, would you go to such a length for us, for the conquerors you barely know? Sharlayan was long aware of the coming doom that would be the final days, and so we were prepared to evacuate the star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well, but we had not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, your rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided that we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. We had convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good, while I can think of at least one individual who continued to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Sage counsel I brazenly cast aside when confronted with the final days in earnest. Sylvain here and his companions refused to forsake those we were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risk to themselves, they achieved the impossible, and opened my eyes to the error of the forum's decision. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, perhaps we should at least consider it. Then it would be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you shall have warm food and beds both. Emerald Merweb and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how best to assist the Guardians moving forward. Should we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. Nero, is that you? Though visibly relieved the Guardians are safe, the hardness in Fortuna's eyes suggests your work is far from over. With the Guardians' hearts at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, the blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of their originator. In which case, it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous, then, that a number of soldiers of the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our capability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer can tell us who among them knows aught of Nerva's whereabouts. We've got to do what I hoped head up for. Okay. What the hell? Okay, oh, that's a flying gorilla. Thank you again for answering our call to aid. I pray the matter can be resolved quickly before anyone else succumbs to the Blasphemy's influence. But the blasphemy should appear now of all times bodes ill for Garlemald. That said, I have faith we will find a way to fell the beast ere long. Alright, see whether if any other refugees are on. Oh. No, not here. I see. Perhaps it'd be best if you speak with Virgilia, Legatus of the Third Legion. Legatus? She's still on the men, but the Courageans aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you would wait here a moment. Here was his champion, I presume, and one of his cohorts. What business have you with me? Elsebard is faced with an imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be the key in stopping it. Oh, she's actually wearing a dress. Thus do we believe the blasphemy to be Nerva. His whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, gave credence to our theory. Lord Nerva. From what we have pieced together thus far, you were one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well, though I suspect what meager knowledge I possess shall avail you not. I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the lower levels of the Synaculum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate, for news that the tide might turn in our favor. The next day, I left for the front line. It was there I heard a terrible noise, which I assumed came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me, and I remembered not after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been devoted to Garlemald, for glory everlasting, he would say. Towards the empire he loved so dearly crumbled. I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me if a beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. stands atop the remains of the Imperial Palace and the throne he revered so highly. The Empire is no more, and Lord Nova, apparently, is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dreams of glory. We will fell the beast. You have my word. Apologies for the interruption. Kanusena has arrived. And we're ready to depart. 'Tis good to see you, Sylvain. As fortunate. I've spoken with Lawrence of the ward protecting the Blossomy, and I'm quite confident some manner of ether-based magic bars our path. If I may be so bold, Alder Seeds here, we reached the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. These creatures born of the final days are devoid of ether. As such, they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it is possible they manipulated dynamics to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier fueled by ether. That is, until I stepped foot here in Garlemald. Even now, I can sense streams of ether flowing towards the tower. Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy, sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. 'Tis merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined currents with mine own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? I would join you as well, if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blade. I will not be opposed to your company, but it is not my decision to make. She may go, as long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Very good. Might I suggest we begin with Regio Urbanisma? Sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. Automated dirt machine. You seem I underestimated the resourcefulness of our adversary. I hear word that Alden should be arriving before long. I can already picture him knocking his knees, muttering under his breath above the cold. I'll never understand how anyone could grow accustomed to such cold climes. I'm sure it's just my imagination, but I can't help but feel we're being watched again. Part of me does not wish to believe this blasphemy is Lord Nerva, that failed to protect him. And yet... As I thought, the Aether stream here flows to us tower, as to all others in this region, no doubt. This convergence first began when the Telforoi erected spires in all corners of Eosia to fill the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, this divergence of Aether should have ceased. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadows and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Hey, it is Nero. My, you're sharper than you look. I recognize you. Nero, yes? Why are you following us? Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Garlemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has become of my home? I know not what you're scheming, but we've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland would make better company for you. Spare me. I'm a man of great ambition and greater intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I will set my sights to the stars beyond. Which is why you snuck into the tower. But like us, you couldn't get past the blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you would dispense with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. Do you have reason to believe we are not? Or perhaps does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Far be it from me to steal your glory in having come all this way. But as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time at the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. You see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible. They all vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades reclaiming the remains of the Emperor, but obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Ah, yes. The manufacturing district, just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat, considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether. Barely enough to sustain a life, let alone aspire. But if one were to use Varus' remains to forcibly create a confluence of sorts. Precisely. And from what I gleaned of the tower systems, His heart serves as its core, coursing not with blood, but your precious ether. And now Nerva has amassed a servant to shore up his defenses. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for his design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Oh, did I say that out loud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of life energies. We must hurry and find Barris's heart, to both spare this land this wanton harvesting, and deny the blasphemy the source of his protection. Are we to presume you have any intentions of aiding us? As I said, I have no intention of stealing your glory, for I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva, forcing himself upon the system, has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it will not be long before his presence triggers his system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. I don't know whether if I'm just dumb or that sentence does not make sense to me, like grammatically. The resulting explosions will destroy whatever tenuous streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. But more importantly, we'll lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens have forever denied my genius. How so very unfortunate. How so very unfortunate. In any event, 'twould seem time is of the essence. It's all well and good. But even if we know which district to search, finding the heart will be like looking for a needle in a bloody haystack. Actually, I may know where we can start. It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollections of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it's as good a place as any to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility will be heavily guarded. Then maybe it'd be for the best to divide our forces. If it's just the four of us, shouldn't prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart. Meanwhile, our main force can stand ready to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrack gives out. Be safe. This is Levier. What? Very well. We shall return at once. A number of Guardians have left camp for the Tower of Babel. They have somehow misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nerva has taken refuge there, still clinging to their ill-placed patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far. If we act quickly, perhaps they can be found before they come to harm. A wise man would not waste his time on a few wayward refugees. I thought you Charlian scholars knew better. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, sir. If it is all the same to you, Sylvain, I would join you. I will return to camp and prepare preparations for our assault on the tower. And I suppose I should go as well. Though I am unarmed, I promise not to be a burden. That said, it would behoove us to avoid any undue confrontations if possible. Now then, let us be off. We've no time to lose. If they should reach the tower, there's no telling what may happen to them. Okay. Oh wait, that was Oblation, not... That was a Shadowbringer. Here's a point of interest. No trace of them here. Let's keep to searching. Help! Someone, please! Do you hear that? It came from over there. It came from the tower. I will see to him. You go on ahead. Alright. Oh, why is it whenever there's trouble, it's always you three? You... You're the ones who came to speak with us before. We heard Lord Nova had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... No. Not Lord Nova too. But there really is nothing left for us. I'll not deny your situation is dire. We are not without a path forward. I believe you've the passion and conviction needed to rebuild Garlemald, if you so choose. Or failing that, you could begin life anew in Sharlayan. Rebuild Garlemald? No. There's no point in entertaining so lofty a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary. Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you will not see Garlemald rise from the snow and ashes here at Elsapart, might you consider venturing onto a new frontier? A new frontier? And where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? There, on the moon. It is our goal to create a repository for man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. As I understand, the magitech and technological advancements of Garlemald here are, advancements of Garlemald will without peer. Your expertise would be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. Do you really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Well, certainly more possible than you stopping your complaining. But seriously, man, cut the shit out. Self-pity is pathetic. Have you a better alternative? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to grandeur from the complacency in the present or rumination in the past. We live for the future. It is our blood. It is in our blood. Life is not without its hardship. Of course, even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you will balk at the proposition boggles my mind. Consider this. You have heard that beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand here before me? Because deep down, you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down, you long to reach the unreachable. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Reach for the unreachable. That sounds like something I would have said back at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. Then we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. It's hard to believe Lord Nerva, of all people, could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. Thank you for the rousing call to action. For the rousing call to action. But I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single guardian to be among those venturing to the moon. What else am I to prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? Never change, Nero. I told myself I would not get overly involved, and yet here I am. I hear something coming. It's tabbed out. You. I'm gonna beat your ass. Alright. Forlorn Glory. What is a direct hit? Still no idea. It's a critical hit? Let me go Google that, because up till now I still have no idea what direct hit are. What is the difference between a direct hit and critical hit? Direct hit adds 25% damage to the hit. Crit adds a percentage based on your crit rating. I suppose direct hits are nice. This is a determination, which just that increased damage, I suppose. For what Nero has told us, time is now a luxury we can ill afford. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing their preparations for battle. This is the most depressing landscape I have seen in the entire game. Oh, I thought Mordona was dull. Deserved it though. Perhaps he shouldn't have invaded another country. See what I for Lucia and oh wait. Yeah, let's take a look at see what Lucia and Maximus anything to see. Nope. Nothing new. I hope the other's absence means all proceeds apace. Good, you're here. With the recent arrival of reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. Apologies for our lateness. It seems we are at least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. Aye. And if the fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lorhian, thank you both for coming. Yes, of course. Understood. Lorenz and the others have reclaimed Varys' heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. But the time has come at last for... well, words. But the time has come at last to storm the Tower of Babel. Admiral Merlwyb and Lord Emmerich await our arrival at space. At its base. Then we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is as good an opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting. Ah, you and the hammer. I'll accompany you as well. As the forum's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it my responsibility to see this through to the end. I didn't take you for the fighting type. Despite appearances, I am no stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I have seen my fair share, traveling the world in service to the Forum. Though I may not be the equal of Elfino or Elise, we shall not find ourselves wanting. I can promise you that much. When you have all finished your preparations, we shall reconvene at the Encelad. Enceladium? I suppose the more accurate pronunciation would be Enceladium. Oh wait, it's to the north. Oh wow, it's quite some distance away. I truly wonder what Garlemald would look like if it wasn't, you know, a complete wreck. I do wish to see it in its, like, full glory. It would be nice, I think. Right, it's time. All are present and accounted for. Shall we proceed? Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Oh, that's gonna be a long one, I think. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Alright, let's get to it. Oh hey, it's Nero's armor. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the Blasphemy, Nerva. But the barrier guarding him is no more. A number of beasts will surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. After a smashing start, I see. It seems the tower will reach its limits sooner than anticipated. If we're to save the transporter, we must hurry and find Nerva. Now. Oh, this loading screen show is taking a while. Oh, it's a full party, I think. Should go without saying, but stay on your guard. It was quite a notary of the forest last I was here. Onward. Okay. They're upon us. 2 arms. Mower and I shall hold them all. Press on, my friends.
The path has been revealed. The winds favor us.
Persistent-in-law, Tanve.
Down with you!
I shall hold the line here. When you see an opening, take it. Do not look back. It says Iron Nero. Never did make things easy. Let's get this over with. More coming. Stay sharp. No instant. Yet. Oh, Laura's blood. Oh well, what peace will be.
'Tis honor! Enough!
That was a close one. It's about the last of them. Oh. Of course not. We can't afford for them to impede our advance any longer. Commander Alt, let us hold them here. Master Fortunal, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. Leave. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Mine. This ends here now, bro. The Garlemald, the people, and all call the star her home. Trust me, no, I'll not suffer anyone gets in my way. Right. heal. I didn't know it could do that. Glory everlasting indeed. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps. But yes, I'd say we've managed to avoid a fiery ruin. Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Charlene has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus did we fervently hold on to our policies of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service to our plans of exodus, to abandon the star to its ruinous fate. Harsh though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Charlene will now find a new way forward. Not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of the star and all who call it home. I believe I speak for all the Forum when I say it would be an honor and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the allied nations. Aye, an age of true and everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it together. As much as I would enjoy a riveting conversation with yours as champion, I really must make I really must make ready for the moon. Now, if you'll excuse me. It's a relief to know we've no longer a need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I'm ill-suited to it. The allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far and above beyond what I might expect from diplomatic figures. And you, my friend, I see now why you're so well regarded as Eorze's champion. The others have already begun the arduous journey home, but before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans will be forfeit, and the lands of Ilsabar forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I have no need for your platitudes. I labor only to further my own ends, nothing more. We heard the news. Thank you for everything. With Lord Nerva laid to rest, we've the peace of mind to move on without regret. Oh, it's living way. Living way. There you are. Now, what's this I heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Battle? Are we really finally ready to return to the moon? Ah, what fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to Living Way of the Lockbirds, Moon Dweller and Overseer of the Survey Team. Living Way, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Lockbirds will take good care of him. Pleased to meet you. Residents? Oh no. I mean, oh yes, splendid. After many, many long years of planning and preparations, the moon is absolutely, most definitely ready to accommodate your stay. Glad to hear it. And apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence and see to our final preparations. But your residence-to-be and the survey team shall be along ere long. I might trouble you to relay word of our success to Shirabat. Might I trouble you to relay the word of our success to Shirabat and Razahan? I should think the tidings all the more heartening come from you. Until next we meet. Wait, wait, you're not leaving for the moon without me. No, I'm glad Nero has found a new calling. Absolutely love his character. They really did him good, like after Realm Reborn. Now, back to Razahan. That's a pretty cool sword. So it's true then. The blasphemy in Garlemald has been struck down. They were right to call on you, it seems. And with no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us. Strange though that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the Radiant host, I extend to you our humblest thanks. I hope when next I call on you, it will be under more fortuitous circumstances. a mighty hero returns. We almost hear we're taking collective sigh of relief with the Blossomies defeated. Still, there's no excuse for us to rest on our laurels. We'll remain diligent in our search for potential threats, and if any should arise, I hope we'll be able to call on you once more. Oh, fantastic. No other dialogue change for any other rest. Yep, that is all there is to it. Oh, this guy's nice quest too. Well then, that is it for me for today. Got a very long, busy day ahead of me later on. In case you've forgotten, I've not slept a bit since yesterday. So, hopefully I can catch a quick shut-eye before... Or... Actually, yeah, just like a quick like half-hour nap maybe. Or something to do in like an hour anyway. Alright, well... Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time. You have a good day ahead, or if your day is coming to an end, I hope you've enjoyed your day thus far. Alright, see you next time, and goodbye.